Everybody, this is Mike Greenberg. For those that don't know me, I am Jennifer Greenberg's husband. Jennifer Greenberg is founder of the Police Wives Academy, and she also does some strong LEOW marriage groups. And she asked me to make a video from the Ellie's perspective on what it's like to be married to us. So hopefully I can get through this without getting a call. Obviously, there's going to be different perspectives, and it's in our nature, especially for guys that are in law enforcement, to pretty much naysay everything that someone else says anyways. But this is my perspective on what it's like. So one of the things that I wanted to bring up is someone like me who didn't start off as a, hold on, let me turn this down. Didn't start off as an officer. I actually didn't become a cop until I was 28 years old. So I had a lot of living that I had already done. I was a realtor. I was in sales. So being a cop was relatively new to me. I don't think that I really knew how much of a type A sheepdog personality that I had. Until I actually, I knew I wanted to be a cop, but I didn't know that I really had that drive. So I want to start real quick by talking about the academy, what it's like to go through the academy, the mindset shifts that you go in there. I know when I went in there and I was just this recruit and didn't know anything about anything, didn't know how to stand at attention, didn't know what 45-degree angle was, didn't really know about chain of command. I knew that nothing was more important than your partner. I knew these things that I had seen in different videos, but one of the things I want to bring up is that when you go through something like the academy, its sole purpose is to break down the walls and the barriers that you have in your life and actually bring you to the point of nothing. And that way they can build back what they want you to believe and what they need you to know in order to stay alive in this job. So, for example, if you're in a big fight or something like that, they're teaching you not so much to win the fight, but to never give up, to always win every situation, to hold on because help is coming. So no matter how hard or how impossible that fight is, we're trained, it's engraved that we're going to win. That we're going to succeed, that we're going to get through this. Our partners are coming. Someone's always got my back. Someone hears me on the radio. They know when I'm in distress. We're really taught to really suppress our emotions. I remember one time I actually had a suicide call December 25th at 5 a.m. It was a 13-year-old. Tree was knocked over upside down. The hole in the television. The kid was dead in the other room. I got off shift at 7 a.m. So here I am to go home to my wife and my newborn when just 2 hours earlier I was on a suicide with a 13-year-old. And now I've got to open up presents with them. So we are trained to suppress our emotions, because obviously we're no good to that family if we're in there bawling. So we begin to start to really harden our hearts so we can succeed at our job. So that's really important for you to keep in mind, because it's not that we're not interested in your feelings or that we can't really process them, but we're trained to do it in a different way. And people say, well, he doesn't turn off the job when he gets home. You know what? It's about near impossible, because they didn't teach us in the academy and in FTO program and in calls that we're working a job with hours. Our goal is to go home to our families at the end of the night. We become this personality where I can look you in the eyeballs and tell you how I feel, because I learned to be aggressive in nature. The very first tool that we have as officers is officer presence. That's the very first thing. So when we walk into a room, we need to command authority so that we can not have to go and transition to another weapon, such as a taser or a baton or a gun. So our very first thing is to come off aggressive. But how do you turn that off? How do you go and they tell us code orange is where you need to be? Down in code white, whereas where you really need to be to have a relationship with your spouse, have your walls down, be able to be emotional, be able to be, how do you do that? How do you do that when we're trained as cops to be up here in level awareness? Right now, you can see my eyes looking around. I'm trying to do this video. I'm in the very back of a parking lot at a church making this video. There's nobody around, but I'm still thinking that someone's going to jump out at any moment to kill me. Okay? We're trained to be courteous and kind to every single person you meet, but have a plan to kill them. All right. So how do you turn that off when we walk in the door? You've been working with the kids all day. You're stressed. Now you want your husband. Well, here comes your husband. He's done 4 domestic calls. He's been yelled at. He's been cursed by the very people that called to help him. Hey, I need your help. I need your help. Go try to arrest that lady's husband or that lady's baby's daddy. And she's the one that called because he beat her. We put him in cuffs. Now we're fighting her. You know what I mean? It's like a no-win situation. Then we come home. We got all these levels up. We're like here. You want us down here. But how do we do that? So one of the things I just want you to understand, it's not that we don't want to be vulnerable to you. It's that this job eats you. This job totally transforms who you are. And you know what? You've got to know that it's done that for our safety and for the safety of the people that we're out here to protect. But mostly, it's done like that for my partner. My partner who's right over here. He's over here. I know at any moment he could get a call that I may have to try and save him or something. So try to keep that in mind when you are speaking to your LEs. Speak to us in ways that we understand. Learn how to articulate yourself. Understand that you're married to a cop. So, you know what I mean? It's all funny. We talk in 10 codes, or for those of us that don't have plain talk, we talk in these different ways. And, we like to articulate ourselves like we're going to court on this day and this time, this happened, who, what, when, where, why. We speak in facts. You may be treated by your spouse like you're a suspect. But you know what? We fight like we train like we fight. It becomes our mentality mindset. I don't mean to speak to my wife like she's a suspect or she says one of her customers, but it's how I speak. I know the very first court case I went on, I lost to an attorney because he was able to trip me in my words because I believed something. Well, you know what? He knew it, and he was able to catch me because I was a rookie, and I made a rookie mistake, and I never have made that mistake again. So I speak in a different way than somebody who may work as a secretary or someone who may work in a different job, even in corporate level. We speak differently. We speak aggressively. It's how we are. Okay, so when you're talking to us and you really want to get your points across and you're trying to relate, speak in ways that we can relate to. So many times Jennifer tells me about her groups and they're saying they don't know what's wrong with their LE relationship, but they're not treating their relationship like they're married to an LE. They're treating their relationship like they're married to a man that has a job as a cop. Understand this is not a job. It's a way of life. It is an absolute demeanor in who we are. It makes all the difference in the world. The good cops are cops. You can pick a cop out a mile away. The way we stand, the way we hold our hands. We're always in an interview stance. We're always looking around. We sit towards the door. Even the way you go out to dinner with your LE, right? I'm not turning my back to the door. Here you are. You just want to have a nice dinner out with your husband, and he's looking over your shoulder the whole time. You've got to make that conscious decision to understand that you're married to a cop. Understand you're married to a cop. Respect and cherish the fact that you're married to a cop. You can put yourself in a bad mindset position by thinking that you're just married to someone who's got no feelings. Understand that we may not be processing our feelings the way you want, but we're processing them how we believe we were trained. We're willing to learn how to cope back in our family life, but we need patience. We need your understanding and your helping hand. Hopefully this video helped you a little bit. Obviously, I love my wife very much, and we've gone through some pretty bad times, and a lot of it was probably my fault. I know she felt for the longest time they didn't care about her, and that's not true, and she knows it's not true now, but my persona on who I became kind of showed that to someone who's so caring like her. She loves to love, and of course I walk in the door And, you know, I still got my badge on. And my badge is always on in my mind. So just be patient with us. Treat us like we're cops, because that's what we are. You cannot have a Rottweiler and act like he is a collie. You got to treat a Rottweiler like he's a Rottweiler. It's the same thing with a police officer. Be proud of who you have. We're proud that you're our spouses. We cannot do this job without you, regardless of what anyone says. We can call ourselves Batman all we want, but you're our Robin. I'm sorry, no, you're our Alfred. So, guys, give your marriage a shot. Give it the time it needs. Be that LEOW that we need you to be. All right. Boys, if you're watching this, be safe out there. Understand your wives are trying the best they can. They're doing the best they can do. So before you dismiss this video as some goofy dude in a cruiser, you know, thinking, man, this guy, why is he doing this? Before you put yourself, understand that my heart is to see your marriage succeed, okay? So before you put a label on the video and before you start thinking, man, why would he even be making this video in his cruiser? I'm doing it so that our spouses know that we're thinking about them when we're working. All right, go ahead and send your spouse a little video in your cruiser. Just tell them not to share it, because you don't want to get in trouble. Guys, be safe out there. Take care of each other. Right now, nobody else is taking care of us.